Right, the final biotope that we're going to be focusing on today would be the gravel, sand and mud. So we've covered the stones, we've covered the vegetation biotopes. Now we're going to look at the GSM, gravel, sand and mud. Now typically that would be found in the slow moving water where the energy of the water doesn't have the energy to carry the sediments. They start settling out, so that's the area we're going to focus on. In the main channel, gravel, sand and mud. Gravels are typically less than about 2 centimeters in size, and we're at the tail end of a riffle or below an island would pick up the gravels. The sand, on the other hand, would be less than about 2 millimeters, and classically we would know what a typical river sand would be on the edge of the banks, and combined with that one would be our mud, and that would be sand going through to fine silt clay type fraction, and we would be looking at that as well. Now the way to sample these would be to find these different biotopes, sub-biotopes as it were, jump into the river and moving the boots vigorously, sweep the net through the disturbed gravel, sand and mud, and you've captured those organisms. The important thing there is to make sure that you, at the end of it, carefully wash through with clean water to flush out any fine clay fractions which otherwise make it very difficult to look at in the tray when we come to identifying the particular organisms themselves. Some of the common errors associated with sampling the gravel, sand and mud are firstly to make sure you don't get too much gravel landing up in your net. So the way to do that is to work these gravels vigorously with your boots and allow the heavier sediments to settle out quickly, and then sweep your net through that. And with practice you'll get a feel of that. The other thing important to make sure you don't get big clods of clay sitting in your net, so wash through your net carefully at the end of it, at the end of your sampling, to wash out those fine clay fractions which otherwise cloudy the water. The overall sampling is strictly 1 minute in total, and all of those 3 sub-biotopes, the gravel, the sand and the mud, get combined into a single one biotope, which is what we would be looking at, analysing and identifying later.